It seems like no more than yesterday that the announcement hit GT Planet that longtime member and friend of the community, Steve Travis, had passed away. Steve was a friendly man waiting on a heart transplant, which he finally received, but unfortunately succumbed shortly after due to lung disease. He was a father and a husband who, like most of us on the forum, had a passion for motorsports. It's still a shock to the system even today to see his absence from the forum, but it's also an honor to dedicate this race to him on the race that is his home soil. We will race with heavy hearts tonight, but with determination and fierce passion, much as Steve had. Join us in a brief moment of silence for Steve Foolkiller Travis. With that said, we will sort through the starting lineup for today's race. 150 laps around the 1.5 mile racetrack in Sparta, Kentucky. As we work our way up through the grid, you will see our pole sitter. And something very cool to note is that we do have a tribute car for Foolkiller. You saw it right there. And to make it even cooler, he's on the outside pole. Race car on the number 32, driving the Donate Life Kentucky car. Foolkiller riding alongside on the roof rails and on the window. With that said, green flag in the air, Swift Smith on the pole. In the number 50 Ford Fusion on the outside is Race Car. He gets a nice jump on that top lane. You see Reshiram moving down into the inside. 3 wide in turn 1 for the lead. Who's going to come out on top? You see Matarasu right behind Race Car, and down the back straightaway, I think Race Car is going to have the lead here. Coming down to lead lap 1, and isn't this fitting? The 32 in the tribute car leads the first lap of the race from the outside pole. Amaterasu in second, and Raven 214 in third. And Swift Smith slots into fourth now. Lap 3, Amaterasu behind the 32, tucks down into turn 3 underneath the 32. They're even. Coming out of turn 4, I think. No, actually, Race Car is going to get the run on the top lane, is going to fight back, and is going to hang on to this lead. He's led every lap so far, all 3 of them, working the 4th one now, and you see the Gagla cars behind. Lots of lanes work here, but we weren't really expecting the outside lane to work as well as it is right now. On board with Quiet Girl right behind Clayton Hardy. This is what it looks like from the tail end of the field, seeing all these cars darting in. It's like a miniature auto club right now. We work our way through turns 1 and 2, the narrow turns 1 and 2, and onto the back straightaway. Very bumpy, very rough surface on this racetrack, but the drivers enjoy it as much as the fans do. This is a day to dusk race, so it will be transitioning into the nighttime as the race drags on. See here Amaterasu with Raven right behind. Reshiram, Niku Driver HC, NASCAR fan up in the top 10 right now. Swift Smith, Samurai 8, Juice, Michelin, and BK Glover round out the top 10, Pink Kitty behind them, and then Jordan and RCB. Amaterasu finally makes a move to get around the 32 with some help from Raven 214, or at least makes another attempt. Can she make it stick this time? Even out of turn 4, I don't think that Race Car is going to have the run that he needs this time. I think Amaterasu will take the lead. She leads the lap on lap number 14, and will take the lead. Race Car swats back into second, though, in front of Raven. So now Amaterasu takes charge early on. Race Car still right behind. The fans are... Oh, we got trouble in the back. Quiet Girl around with contact from Suzumiya and goes sliding into the inside wall, and that's going to bring out the caution on lap 16. See, the pace car is out, and Amaterasu will race down to the line with Race Car peeking underneath. Not going to quite get there, so it will be Amaterasu, Race Car, and Raven the top 3 on board with Suzumiya here. I mean, yeah, nothing really that Suzumiya did wrong. He got a run on the top of the racetrack, and Quiet Girl either just didn't see it or chose not to adhere to it, and just 2 cars running for the same spot at racetrack, cross paths. That was a nice split right there on board with the visor cam. See the pit stops occurring. Out of the pit lane they come. See the lights just turned on the racetrack as we're getting closer and closer to sunset. Looking back at the leaders and a look through the field on lap number 19. So we're a little bit into the race, not a whole lot, but we are working our way through. And our first caution of the day comes just shy of 20 laps in. Here comes the green flag. Amaterasu going to lead them down. You saw Race car lost a couple spots in pit stops, shuffled back into 5th or 6th now, 5th place, behind Samurai 8 Juice. You can see there's everybody's pretty much even here. There's a lot of 3 wide and 4 wide behind them, but it seems that these 3 or 4 cars, 5 cars or so, have really sort of just broken away. Miku Driver HC, Raven 214, Reshiram Samurai, and Race Car Amaterasu. They aren't breaking away, but they are clearly the stronger cars right now. You see we're getting a bit closer to sunset, the sky's a bit darker, and it is a little bit cloudy tonight, but the lights will help that as we move on. We're looking at TBW HHS with GT Racer 22 right behind in the 711 car. Here's a new paint scheme on that number 15 of Vetman 24, your Eldora and Phoenix winner. Rounding turn 4 now in a different livery, now gray, black, and white instead of, or gray, black, and red rather than black, red, and white. And now you see, if we look a little bit further through the field, Amaterasu still hanging on to this lead, but Race Car is right there and has been knocking on the door ever since she made the pass for the lead. Race Car still looking, and Raven 214 hanging around as well. You see what I was talking about, how these 4 or 5 cars just seem to have more than everybody else at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if that's going to continue when the sun goes down, or if these cars are just set up for daytime. Race Car trying to make a move here on Amaterasu for the lead. Can he make it stick? The outside line is the stronger line, it would seem, in a battle, and that's going to hold true right here. You see Amaterasu pulls away and actually extends the gap a little bit. Raven 214 right behind that 32 car. Now Jordan tries to make a move to the inside. Not going to happen. We got 2 out of the 5 top 5 cars are rookies right now. See, now Race Car gets a run out of turn 4, gets underneath Amaterasu. Can he make it stick this time? He doesn't get the lap, but he will take the lead pretty easily with Jordan right on his tail, and the crowd goes to their feet, and now you see them screaming by. We're a third of the way through the race on lap 50. You see the field as we run through it on the top left, and as they make their way, you see how yawed they are too. These guys are running on the edge, as bumpy as this track is, and we have the sun going down now, the stars are coming out, and the fans are still on their feet. So you see, again, as the field goes by on lap 58, just taking a look at where everybody is. Pick your favorite driver and look for where they're at. Seeing some of the drivers we're not talking about a whole lot right now. Eva, actually, at the tail end of the field right now. Very uncharacteristic of that number 7 car to be all the way back in last place. Not having a good experience right now in 41st. She is the last of the running cars, but of the running cars, they're all on the lead lap. Jock P22 dropped out with an issue. Caution flag waves on lap 72, and we believe it's for debris. So as they come down to take the caution flag, Race Car is the leader, and it's been between Amaterasu and Race Car for the most part. You see Eva gets in the back, so I believe that was TBW HHS. A little bit of contact there, so her day going from bad to a little bit worse now. Didn't look like there was too much damage, if any. However, any contact is bad contact. Into the pits they all come. See that green and white 33? That is Clayton Hardy. And as they make their way into turn number 1, under the caution flag, we take another run through the running order at the halfway point, or not the halfway point rather, but it is the halfway point, excuse me. Looking at the Steve Travis on the name of your leader, and the crowd very, very much pulling for this car. A lot of people pulling for this car, and would it be the coolest thing to have the tribute car win in Fool Killer's home race? While he never raced in the GT Planet Fantasy Series, he has been an active member on the forum that series is run on. That's why we're paying tribute to him today. Into turn 1 and 2 once again. Race Car gets a nice jump on the field, and you can see them all scream by behind him. Out of turn number 4, Race Car gets a nice lead, and it's looking more and more realistic that this could happen. He could win this race if he can stay out front right now. You see them 3 and 4 wide behind them. And now Raven 214 on the outside line, going to get a massive run on Race Car. They're even, and he's going to get by with relative ease here. Whether Race Car can send it back on the inside or not is the question. He's not gonna risk it. He's going to hang out in second right now. And Raven 214 is gone, easily putting about almost a second on the second place car. And you see the field going by. Angel finally making some moves up through the field, but TBWHHS not so much. Looking again at Vetman on the outside line, trying to get a run. This is toward the back of the pack. You see Goofy Tyler in there as well. Harsk 100 making a move to the bottom onto the apron, as well as to Cybertron and Cod Demon. Looking at Race Car now, getting a second wind coming at Raven 214. He wants to win this race, especially with everything weighing on what would the magnitude that this win could have if he can pick it up here. He looks like he's one of the favorites, as well as Raven. Don't count out Jordan yet either. RCB coming to life as the lights have come on, as well as Skython. So this race is very much anybody's game. Looking at BK Glover, look at all the different lines. The middle line, the outside line, the inside line, but there's just nowhere to go, so no one can make any ground on anyone. You can see how hectic it can get with just 4 or 5 cars. Meanwhile, Raven 214 extending the lead still a little bit. Race Car still in tow, however, of the draft of the 79 or 97 car as they make their way down the front stretch. Now you'll see, however, after a little bit, Raven does extend that lead. And there's Race Car, there's RCB, Skython, Jordan, Jared Gini up here now. We haven't talked about him since last year, it seems. And Amaterasu is making her way back up to the front as well. Remember, she was leading early on. It was between her and a 32, but right now it's all 97. RCB taking a peek on the inside on the apron there, trying to get up to the back end of Race Car. You see Race Car finally gets caught, not by RCB though, he gets caught by Skython, but that will open the door now for RCB to squeak by. We're within 45 laps to go now. There is one more pit stop to make. Race Car trying to fight back on the outside line. He might actually get it here. Yeah, he is. He's going to fight back on the outside line and take the fight to the number 12 machine. Might be able to slot in behind the 11 now and minimize the damage there and stay on the podium. This is on board with, I believe, CUNY Kenoshita. And she's trying to get to pit lane. She misses the commitment line, but she didn't do as bad as Samurai 8 Juice. What in the world? Samurai 8 Juice just missed everything and goes through the grass. Lucky that the splitter didn't dig in there. He saw it bounce up in the air. Very lucky not to dig into the grass. Not only that, though, he misses his pit box and has to back up through Michelin's box. Thank goodness Michelin wasn't pitting. You see the crews giving some gestures. And after all that, he realizes he didn't even make it into pit lane, so he doesn't even get service. So he's going to have to pull out. You see, I saw him at the right side of the screen. While that's going on, you see Fisher and someone else go through the dirt there, and that is somebody's around. I think that's Akmuk, and that's actually going to bring the caution out, and it is Akmuk going backwards in the dirt along with Fisher, and that's going to screw everything up because a whole bunch of cars, 20-some of them, hit pit lane right when that happened. And you can see by the scoring on your top left, that's going to set us up with a really weird restart. 35 cars still on the lead lap. However, 7 of them are actually right there. Starting with RCB and ending with Scuderia Lucas are the actual leaders. Everybody else fighting to stay on the lead lap right off the bat. Very strange, but that's what happened as a result of a caution coming out during pit sequences. And that'll throw a wrench into everybody's plans. No wave around or lucky dogs in this series. So that is unfortunate. But you see 3 wide for second place. RCB getting a good run now and going to the front. Getting by Duststone, tucking up behind NASCAR Fan now. You can see them all over the place. This is a wreck waiting to happen. 3 wide, 4 wide maybe there. RCB up on the top, Raven in the middle, and now Race Car going back to the front. RCB scooting ahead now on the exit of the corner. You can see them in front there. CUNY Kenoshita nearly getting turned there with the number 2. People are just going absolutely crazy right now because they know they need to stay on the lead lap. 4 wide and 2 rows here at Kentucky. It's getting intense right now, and half of those cars are lead lap cars, and the other half are trying to stay on the lead lap in the event of a caution. but they were almost the caution. There's Amaterasu right there, and there is Race Car, but RCB is currently being scored the leader. He fell back a little bit, so Race Car is going to take the lead back. But Niku Driver HC now will take the lead on lap 135 as we make our way into the closing stages of the race. But Amaterasu hot on the heels, as well as Jordan and Race Car. It's a 4-car race right now for the win, and they have to negotiate lap traffic. See Amaterasu down on the bottom, trying to get by Niku Driver HC. Jordan right behind the 84. They're both trying to get around the 31, who is teammate to Race Car. Nearly got into the 84 car, trying to help his teammate the best he can to try and win this race. Now Amaterasu is going to get the lead here, and she's going to take off. She set sail for the time being. You see everybody else trying to squeak through, but can't quite get there. It's just a gaggle of lap cars, and they're all racing each other. We are now fully in the darkness, of course, by this point. And coming into about 6 or 7 to go, Amaterasu has a sizable lead. Where is Jordan, you ask? All the way back here and still negotiating lap traffic. Then it's back to Raven and Niku. You see them. They're all pretty bunched up for 2nd through 5th, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is where that 84 car is, and she is gone right now. Unless she catches a lot of lap traffic or something major happens, I think it's her race to lose. She dominated early in the race. She dominated now, but she was nowhere to be found in the mid part of the race other than flirting around with the top 10 and the top 5, but she's coming back where it counts. She has a sea of cars between her and Jordan. Unless she crashes, she's got this thing in the bag. Through turns 3 and 4, Amaterasu is going to come off of turn number 4 to take the checkered flag. She's going to win the Donate Life Kentucky 150 here at Kentucky. 2nd place for Jordan, 3rd for Raven, 4th for RCB, 5th for Niku HC, Scuderia Lucas in 6th, and a nice homecoming for the number 32 of Race Car in the Tribute Car, getting a top 10, 7th place for the number 32 Toyota, and a strong run, leading a bunch of laps and giving the crowd a heck of a show. And let us not forget what that car represents with Fool Killer riding along today. He had a ride, that's for sure. And as they come into the pit lane, you can see the standings on the top left of the screen, the official standings for the race. See the crowd still in the grandstands. Nobody is leaving yet as they see the scoring pylons update and take a look at how everybody finished. You saw we had 40 cars finish this race, which isn't bad at all. Had one actual crash for a caution, one caution for debris, and then another one for some shenanigans trying to enter pit road. And here you see, very, very cool right there, a honorable victory lap rather than donuts for Amaterasu. And there she is in victory lane. And that's very cool right there, seeing the victory lap, paying respects to Fool Killer there. So congratulations to her, a fantastic win. And we will see you all next time here on the GT Planet Fantasy Series. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, and congratulations again to Amaterasu.